Today we're going to talk about seeking out inspiration rather than waiting for it to fall at our doorstep. Inspiration can be found anywhere. I was inspired by flowers at the market. The beautiful warm yellow and orange inspired this monotone portrait. Sometimes you don't need much more than a single color to give beauty and expression to a piece. I gave her a subdued turquoise background because I felt like that would really bring her into focus. I used to think that inspiration only came from big life events or intense emotions or trauma, because when I was sick and in care treatment, all I had was ideas and inspiration. I would sit down after a meal at the eating disorder clinic and I would draw. Sometimes I would space out and suddenly I would have a finished piece of art in front of me. This is a time in my life where I felt the most inspired and creative. But with time, I've come to realize that I'm much more than a sad painting, and that I can find beauty and peace too. I can find beauty in the mundane. Change is the only thing that's certain in our lives, and nothing is ever going to stay the same, so why should our art? I used to only draw. I was stuck in black and white and I was scared to paint with colors. And for a long time I felt like I was holding on to the sick version of me through my art. I was trying to draw the same old haunted faces that I used to draw, and I didn't dare to try anything new because I feared that it wouldn't be good enough or that I couldn't go back. But I realized that change is a good thing, and I can find inspiration anywhere. I used to be scared to try oil paints. I thought that I wouldn't be good at that, so I just didn't give it a chance. But about a year ago, I figured, why not just try it? I'm bored, it's COVID, it's lockdown, so I tried. And this is what has helped me develop the most as an artist. Now I'm using bright and bold colors and I've learned new skills, and it's opened up so many new doors, and just I'm full of inspiration and creativity in a totally different way than I used to be. If we're too scared to change and try new things, then we're never going to reach our full potential. Hello. I'm not quite sure what color I want this painting to be. I'm trying to work with a limited palette, so no more than 2 colors. But I'm not quite sure what the mood of this should be yet, and since I'm only working with 2 colors, it's pretty important. Originally I was thinking cool tones, but there's just such like a warmth to the expression so far, so I'm not quite sure if I want to go cool or warm. Yeah.
But here we go again, fighting for freedom. Ooh, well.
Okay, 2 colors. My white, no matter what. What if we did 3 colors? Quinacridone magenta, and cadmium yellow. I made these swatches, and none of them are really giving me the right vibe. Maybe this one, the like magenta one. Then I thought, what about just red with like a little bit of blue in there? So it's almost like this one, but more leaning towards just the crimson red. I am just gonna go with the quinacridone magenta. Turn off the distractions. We are constantly glued to our phones or to some sort of screen. Our brains are running full speed ahead, and we are just, information overload all the time. We have information coming at us from every single direction, what people are doing, what the newest trend is, and I know for myself that looking at other people's art, yes, sometimes it can be super inspiring, but it can also make me feel like I'm inadequate. So with all of this information coming at us from every direction about what we should and shouldn't do, then how can we know what we actually want? if we're constantly comparing ourselves to others, it influences our decisions and it makes us second guess what we actually want because we are constantly comparing ourselves to others. So what if we took some of the noise away? I like to paint in silence. It gives my head room to wander, which opens up so many ideas. When there's less influence from the outside world, I feel much more creative and in tone with my own creative eye rather than someone else's, or what I think someone else would appreciate. And when I'm painting in silence, I paint in a flow state. My mind wanders, so my hand wanders across the canvas. I'm in tune with myself and my body, and things just happen more naturally and effortlessly. Effortlessly. There you go. But let's be honest, we can't always paint in total silence. I know that I would go completely nuts if I had to do that.
Successfully did this. Like, there are phenomenal parents who end up having children who are serial killers. Like,
but we can pick and choose and be more aware of what we're filling our heads with. I like to think of this as mindful consumption. I like to listen to a podcast that's gonna like better help me in my journey through life. I like to listen to podcasts where I learn things or watch a documentary, something that's gonna better me as a person, something that's not just going to add on to the mindless bullshit that we all do enjoy and that we all do need. But especially when I'm painting, I like to be in the mindset of either you are going to be in this flow state where your mind wanders and you wander, or I'm going to better myself and I'm going to learn something. Because if I am bettering myself and learning something, then everything I do becomes much more intentional and I become more confident, and you can see that in your art. Yes, if we are glued to our phones, our mind and our eyes are going to be closed off to all the beautiful things happening around us. Be curious and playful. Growing up, I spent all of my time playing outside, running around in the fields, in nature, chasing butterflies, catching snakes and lizards. Yes, I was that weird kid. But there was a playful curiosity about life. You could find enjoyment in the smallest things: a snail, climbing a tree, making sand castles, bouncing on a trampoline. Everything was just exciting and new. There was so much to explore. There was nothing we didn't want to explore and experience. But as we grow older, for many of us, that curiosity, it just dies down, it dwindles. We're glued to our phones and we're missing out on so many new experiences and memories going on around us. So take a walk unplugged. Sit at a cafe alone and watch people. Be curious. What's their story? I love doing this. I often will sit at a cafe when I'm alone, and this might be weird. This probably is weird, but I will make stories for these people. I will turn them into fictional characters and plan their whole lives for them and their conflicts and their love interests and whatever I can imagine in the moment. And I make like a little movie for myself about these people. And I really enjoy that. It's fun. It's like free. It's a free movie in my head. But that said, go have coffee with a friend, have good chats, explore new subjects, try a new cafe, go for a walk in nature, anything that's gonna get your mind off of social media and back into the real world. So this is where I left off yesterday. I needed a break. I couldn't finish it. I was too tired, and it is like Easter week here, so I decided that I get to have a little break and I don't have to finish it right away. I don't have to finish it today. I listened to my body and my mind and was like, yes, that is the right call. So I did it, and I'm very pleased with myself for doing that. It's important to take breaks. Otherwise you're gonna sit there and you're just gonna start messing up. When you get tired, you start to kind of half-ass things, and it doesn't turn out quite as good as if you had just stepped back and taken a break from it. And it's super important to step back and take a break, because then you get like fresh eyes on it, a whole new set of eyes on what you're working on. And this is with anything in life. You take a step back and oh, suddenly you see it totally differently. And yeah, it's the same with art. Yesterday I was really unsure about the color that I chose. Like I could not decide. And since I'm only using 2 colors, it was so important for me to have the perfect color. And I realized that just nothing is perfect. So I just gotta pick a color. So that's what I did. I was like, fuck it. We're gonna go with this quinacridone magenta color. And now that I'm looking at it today, I'm real happy with the color that I chose. I'm going to finish it up now. Although I do need to take breaks, I also need to push myself a little bit sometimes. We're never gonna get better if we just stay in our comfort zone. We have to push ourselves and keep going and learn to make it through the like rough patches. And sometimes you just need to keep going just for the sake of improving your skills to be able to make that potential masterpiece sometime in the future. So whenever I'm just like, ugh, I don't wanna be doing this, I can kind of tell myself, you're working on your base skills, it's all good, this is good for you, it's gonna benefit you in the long run, so just keep going. And it does. Every single time I mess up, I learn for next time. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm not quite sure what I want the background to be. I'm really indecisive. Maybe yellow. Hold on. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I kind of like it. I kind of like the yellow background part of the painting. Perfect. I'm exhausted. I'm doing a challenge where I'm gonna post a video every single day or a reel to Instagram, and I'm just exhausted because I'm trying to do so much all at once that I feel like everything is slipping and suffering and just not as good as it could and should be. It got me thinking about how we all need to put a lot less pressure on ourselves. We put way too much pressure on ourselves to reach all of our goals, have the perfect career, be happy in that career, a family, cat, dog, fucking eat perfect, be healthy, do fitness, and all these things, they all sound great if they're things that you want in your life, but holy shit, it's exhausting. You can't do all of it at once because things are gonna start to slip and be less meaningful and good. The quality of your work is gonna suffer, and the quality of your health is gonna suffer, and everything's just gonna suffer unless you take breaks. And it's really hard to take breaks because I feel like a lot of us, especially in our mid-late 20s, feel like we're running out of time, and that if we take a single break, well then, fuck, we're gonna be out of time in any second. But there is a value in doing nothing, just sitting down and staring into like nothingness, into open space, just enjoying a cup of coffee rather than making a cup of coffee just to drink it while you're working to sustain you, to give you energy. Try sitting down and actually sipping your coffee, enjoying it, not just ingesting it for the sake of being able to work more and work harder, because that's just putting a band-aid on the bigger problem. Our brain needs time to replenish and restore our like idea banks and our creativity banks. I mean, at the end of the day, when I've just been working my butt off, I'm an empty shell. I have nothing left to give, and when you have nothing left to give, your art and your work is gonna suffer as well. And if all we do is just go, 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 and we don't have time to actually like appreciate our surroundings, then of course we're uninspired, and of course we aren't making anything that has meaning to us. Yes, I'm still gonna hold myself accountable and keep doing all these things that I have decided that I want to do, because I do want to have a beautiful, successful career and a family at some point. And I can do all of these things. I just need to take breaks so that I do them well. And I deserve to relax and take breaks. Leo, stop squeaking. Changes. Leo! No more squeaks! No more squeaking! Oh my god.